Hey guys, Will Robinson here from Robinson's Auto. Welcome back. I got that Ford Explorer in that needs rack and pinion. Figured I'd get that in and knock it off the list real quick. In addition to that, I need to check it out for inspection. I've already noticed it has an exhaust leak and probably a couple other things. Like I said, the list keeps compiling, so you gotta do what it takes. So I'm gonna get it jacked up in the air, start changing that rack and pinion. I'll give you a shot at how I came to the conclusion that it needs to be replaced. It's pretty straightforward. Needless to say, it doesn't hold fluid very well, but it needs to be replaced. So let's get this thing up in the air. I'll show you how to jack it and start ripping. Alright guys, first thing you're going to want to do if you're jacking up the front end, come down here. You see that cross member that goes across? That's where I'm going to place the jack. Get this thing jacked up in the air, and then I'll show you where to place the jack stands. Hey guys, before you do this, if you don't have air or a good electric impact, you might want to break the tires loose. Okay guys, you come down here. I don't know how good you can see this, but there's a jacking point right underneath the body mount that's welded to the frame. That's where I'm going to be placing the jack stands. There's one on each side. Alright, let's remove the front tires. I don't know why my shoulders are always sore. Alright guys, I'm over here on the right front. I'm going to start by disconnecting the outer tie rod. You want to remove this cotter pin. You're going to remove that castle nut. .13/16. Let me show you how to pop them. They sell tools for separating these tie rods and ball joints and things of this nature. If you use them tools, plan on replacing that boot with a tie rod because you're most likely going to tear it. So the way I remove these, I have one of them tools in my toolbox. I've been collecting dust for years. To be honest with you, I don't use them. You're going to want to hit this knuckle. Whatever the piece goes through, you're going to want to hit it. So let me show you. Easy enough. That's one side. Let's go do the other. Alright, do the same thing on this side. I always have my best luck with a pair of dikes. Sometimes they don't come out that easy, but we'll cover that when the time comes. Okay, remember, like I said, hit the knuckle. There you can see it pop. That's it. Okay guys, when you come back under this front end, there's an air dam on the bottom for your that covers your radiator. It's like a shroud. We're going to take that out just to get it out of the way. There's your power steering cooler. We're going to want to remove that next. Okay, now I got them loosened up. I'm going to take off these two nuts. There's one here and one here. It holds down that cooler. Guys, if you're having trouble breaking something loose, Need an extra leverage? Get yourself a second wrench. Put it right in series with that one and be amazed what a little extra leverage will do. Let me give that a little spray of penetrating oil. That must be a top lock nut. When I say top lock, you got a couple different style lock nuts. You have nylon lock nuts that have a nylon insert. Then once they go through the threads, it kind of works like a lock. Keep it from coming loose. And on a top lock nut, they take and pretty much pin over a portion of that nut. So it kind of goes on a little tighter than it should. Keep it from coming loose. Yeah, sure enough, that's a top lock nut. I don't know if you can see it here. You can see on each side, there's an indent. That's where they put in some kind of machine to kind of make it egg shaped. You can see that hole, it's not perfectly round. It's got more of an egg. That's a top lock nut. So no matter what you do, they're going to be tight all the way off. Not a big fan of lock nuts. Now that we determined that those are top lock nuts, be prepared to spend a little time getting it off. Okay. Now you have them two nuts off and you got your drain pan positioned. Let's remove the return. It says here returns the fluid back to the power steering pump. It's usually a good spot to drain your power steering as well. If you're doing a pump or any kind of work like that. Hey guys, while that's draining, take a look over here. I think I forgot to show it to you before. Remember how I was saying it was pretty obvious why I determined the rack and pinion or steering gear, whatever you want to call it, needs to be replaced. Is see how the fluid's leaking out of this boot for the inner tie rod? That means your seal blew on that rack and pinion. So it's pretty obvious. You got that draining? Try to get the bottom one up. Alright. Okay, now we got the power steering cooler out of the way. Take and position this tube up and out. See, that cooler is on the return side of the power steering pump. You take a shot over here on this line that we're going to have to remove next. See it up in there? That's your main pressure line. Let's see if we can get that out. Alright guys, I don't know if you can see it up there, but take and move this back up in there and you see where I got that socket? Well, that's the steering knuckle that goes to your steering gear, rack and pinion. So get to it however you can and get her loose. I don't know if I failed to mention, if you plan on doing this job yourself, plan on spending a few hours on it. Because it's not that easy. There's a slot there, you take and spread it. Just a tad. There she's on. Okay, now we got all that off. Here's what my hopes are, guys. As you see, I didn't get this main pressure line off yet. I'm hoping I'm going to take off the mounting bolts for this steering gear and move it over enough so I have more access to that pressure line. That way I don't round it off. Let's see how it goes. Because I can't get her to break loose yet. So before I ruin it, I'll try that. That's one. Guys, I had to go put safety glasses on. I just got all kinds of salt and dirt in my eyes. It's a prime example why you should wear them. I'm glad I had a bottle of water here. I used it to flush my eyes out with. Otherwise they'd be killing me. I mean, they're killing me now, but and if I didn't have the water to flush. As you can see, that loosened up everything. Let's see if that opened up the line enough for me to get it. Hey, we got it. I think put this power steering line up somewhere where it's not going to get dirt in it. Let's see what we got here. And I got to remove this stabilizer bar. It goes across. 2 brackets. I'm going to zip the 2 bolts out on this side. You got an identical bracket on that side. And you come over here and you got your stabilizer links. And I want to zip the 2 nuts off of each side and just remove it. I'm going to take this, spin that away, and I'm going to take the other side off. And you want to take it, twist it on its side, get it through the hole as far as you can. I'm hoping you guys can see that. Once you feed it through as much as you can, get it so you can pop the tie rod past the side of the frame. You can't go all the way out because of the where your knuckles at. So I should be able to take it all the way out. That's how you do it. And have it turn enough. Alright, just pull it all the way out. Alright, now I got the steering rack out. We're going to want to disconnect the inner tie rods on each side. Now let's put this thing in a vise. Knock them loose. This one to the other side. You need this one line here. Another stubborn one. This one's allowed to be stubborn. I could work with this one. Okay. This rod came with new inner tie rods, so I'm gonna have to put the old ones on it. It's gonna need to be realigned when we're finished, but I'm gonna get them as close as possible. So. Going to measure from that first lip where it starts. .545. Whew. Got her. What I do is also count the turns. It's 1, 2, 3, 18 and a half. We're going to need a new outer tie rod for this side. Wanted to do while we got it apart. Alright, the right one is brand new. That one was put on a few months back. Oh, I need the nut. For 3.45. Okay, I got that set. So when I get the new tie rod in the morning, it's 11 o'clock at night now, so nobody's open. When I get the tie rod in the morning, I'll just run it down to that nut. That's put me pretty darn close. The other side. Yeah, 3.23. So. Another piece of scratch. Alright. I'm going to count the turns on this one as well. It's right there, so 1, 2, 24, 24 and a quarter. So yeah, 23 and a quarter. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 8, 4, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And that'll be it. That's been 24 and a quarter. Yeah, that's right on the money. All right, we'll lock that in place.